This video is sponsored by PCBWay. Hello everyone, today I will show you how I've made the IPD engine for the upcoming VectorGear mixed reality headset. VectorGear is a standalone VR headset with complete facial tracking, SLAM-based 6 degrees of freedom, real pancake displays, custom-made Qualcomm Snapdragon system on a chip, and much more. I will put the website link in description if you want more details. As always, I've ordered my boards from PCBWay, sponsor of this video. This time I will be using only one custom board, which will work as a carrier for 2 stepper motors and 1 step stick. And just like always, my boards arrived super quick and the production quality is super high. This time I've ordered my boards with red solder mask to give the build a nice contrast, since I will be using black 3D printed parts. As you can see, the board is really simple. It has pins for the stepper motors on each side, and directly in the middle are pins for the step stick driver. And this is the main IPD engine frame. It's a simple 3D printed bracket which will hold the stepper motors, smooth rods, and of course the IPD PCB. But first let's assemble the IPD PCB. The only component apart from the step stick that will be mounted directly on the board is the FFC connector, which will be used to communicate with the headset. It's a pretty easy component to solder and it will go right here. As you can see, it uses only 6 pins, which is pretty much enough to drive the whole circuit. This tiny connector supplies the power to the step stick and the motors. To drive the motors, I will use a regular 3D printer step stick that you can easily buy anywhere in the world. Unfortunately, the operating voltage is at 7 volts minimum, which means it's not ideal, and it will pretty much mean that I will have to replace it with something better down the line. The step stick installation is quite simple as well. I simply put it on top of the IPD PCB and cover the holes with solder. It's an unusual soldering technique, but the connections are pretty solid and distance between those boards are minimal. For the stepper motors, I will be using those tiny motors which I found on AliExpress, which work really well, but unfortunately there is like zero info on them. Both motors will be secured in place using tiny 3D printed brackets and couple of self-tapping screws. The brackets are pretty fragile, but hold the motors really well and make sure that the motors are staying in correct position. I will be using a small pieces of double-sided tape to secure the motor connectors in place, since it's super important that those are in the correct position. It does look pretty good so far, and the whole thing is pretty slim, which means that the headset thickness will be minimal. So now it's finally time to add the IPD PCB. The custom board will sit directly on top of the plastic part and will touch the stepper motor connectors. And of course, both things will be soldered together the same way as I've soldered the step stick. And of course, whole thing will be secured with self-tapping screws with couple of 3D printed washers. I've actually noticed that you can't tighten it too much, since the IPD board will slightly bend. Here I've got a couple of smooth rods, which will be used for the slider mechanism. It's basically what keeps the sliders in place and lets them move left and right. Of course, I've had to cut them down to size, since the original length was way too much. The smooth rod installation is pretty basic. You simply push the rod through the holes on the side of the 3D printed part, but only slightly at first, since I still need to install the sliders. And here are the sliders. This is what will slide left and right on the smooth rods and will eventually move the headset lenses left and right. The sliders actually go on the other side of the frame, since that's where the lenses will be. This slider here is for the right eye. It's very important not to mix them up, since both of them are calibrated for each side of the headset. When you have the slider in place, you simply push the smooth rod all the way inside. With both sliders in place, it's time to install the display frames. It's actually a slightly outdated design, since it's designed for 1600 by 1600 panels. The finished product aims to use a real pancake displays with display resolution at 2560 by 2560. And of course, the display frames use self-tapping screws as always. And that's pretty much the whole IPD engine right here. I won't install any display panels right now, but I will show you however how it works. In order to properly test it out, I've got this FFC breakout board, which will help me connect the necessary wires to the FFC connector. And to drive the circuit, I will use a regular Arduino Nano. As you can see, I've connected all of the wires to the breakout board and added a external power source. It's a regular TP-Link power adapter rated at 9 volts. And as you can see, when I push the buttons on the Arduino, the display frames move left and right. The finished product will drive the motors through the main board with use of the dedicated software, but we may add hardware buttons as well. And that's pretty much all for today. Thanks for watching everyone, and hope to see you in the next video. And as always, huge thanks to my patrons. See you later and goodbye.